So first of all, you want to set yourself up in the way that we were talking about earlier to make consistency the default answer.
Right? People who are just going for the next sale, live what's known as the temporary sales life.
My entire life, I was willing to disrupt my entire life to buy my future, to buy my possibility, to give my dream a chance.
Stop settling for second place, third place, fourth place. Stop settling. Stop being content, being selfish, stubborn. Stop being content just getting by week. Some weeks you'll fall behind. Stop being content because when you look in the mirror, at the end of the day, you can't fool the person looking back on you. Everybody on social media ain't the person that you think they are. Because you are great. You are amazing. If you don't believe in you, I believe in you because that's what it took for me to be great. I've stumbled, I failed.
So we go to bed at the same time. We have our meal plan prepped out, so we don't have infinite ingredients in the house and a bunch of junk food. It's like we have the ingredients we need to make the food that we want to make. Our gym clothes are right next to the bed, all of that stuff. So we are setting ourselves up so that the right answer is the easiest answer. And the pantry is an easy way to explain that. If you don't know what you're going to eat, you don't have rules around what you eat, and you've got a bunch of junk food in the house, the odds of you sticking to your diet are basically zero because you don't have things laid out. You have not said, this is what I eat for breakfast, this is what I eat for lunch, this is what time I eat, this is what time I stop eating, all that stuff. The rules in your life, by according to that, live according to that, and then keep that list of the things that you know that you're supposed to be doing, okay? It's very important for you to make the right choice, the easy choice. As you do that in multiple areas of your life and just start ruling things out, and this is again where bright lines really come in handy, you have to have things that you don't do as much as knowing what you do. And a lot of people get themselves in trouble because they don't have these bright lines. There aren't things that are off limits. So for instance, Monday through Friday, if I'm awake, I'm either working or working out. So you can imagine if I start goofing off, I start playing with the dog, I play video games, I would know immediately that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing because is it Monday through Friday? Yes. Am I working or working out? No. Cool. Then you're doing the wrong thing. And so by having these rules and writing them down can be really useful. Having these rules, writing them down, knowing exactly what you're trying to accomplish and why you're trying to accomplish.
And they're always scrambling, simply because they don't become a salesperson, a persuader, by working hard on themselves, okay? So what you want to become is a problem solver. And you do that by going through this process. First question is, what could I do? Okay, the first question to solve the problem is, what could I do to solve the problem? Now don't go beyond step one till you've thoroughly covered it. Then just make a list of some of the potential answers. Here's the first one, here's the second one, here's the third one. I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. Just start toying with some of the answers on the paper.
You have to sacrifice your friends, sacrifice your social life. Fighters spend tons of time isolated in darkness obsessing while their friends are out partying. You are out there spending time training. You're dying inside at home, honing your skills. You're a fighter. You're a fighter, so fight. What are you waiting for? You are there to win. You're not backing out for nobody. I need you to start believing in you. I need you to become driver of your life, not the passenger.
Then, once you've got these put together, which is the best one? You say, well, this one would take too long. I need an answer a little quicker. I need to do it sooner. This one seems a little weak. This first one I thought of, that's probably the answer right there. Just work with it on paper, not in your mind. The best way to organize your thoughts is to write them down. It's a little difficult to just organize them in your mind. Organize answers in your mind. Come up with potential possibilities, options. You just got to write out your options on paper, my opinion. Now then, here's the second question to ask. Second question to solve a problem is, what could I read? Could very well be a book on the problem. Or if I went back through my journals, what could I read that might find an answer? Maybe you've got a problem that's got a section in the library.
I'm positive that there's There's more to come, but guess what? Like you, I overcame it with love, with passion, focus, purpose. I succeeded because I owned up to all my faults. I took responsibility for every single thought that I could possibly wrap my thoughts around. Because if I didn't do it, nobody else will. You can't wait for nobody else. You got to own it. I don't care whose fault it is if you don't fix it, I promise you. If you don't take action towards it, it's your responsibility why you succeeded or why you failed. When you point fingers at people, guess what?
See, we're not supposed to tuck our dreams in on the pillow when we get up in the morning. We're not supposed to leave them at home and go and fulfill somebody else's dream. We're not supposed to do that. That's not what we're wired to do. That's not who we are. Your human spirit doesn't care about the economy. The human spirit doesn't care that my son's father went to prison. The human spirit doesn't care what's happened to your family. The human spirit doesn't care about the past. You may have been molested, or your family may have been broke, or you may have been betrayed, or you may have a divorce. Your human spirit doesn't care about any of that. Your human spirit simply says, what's our command for tomorrow? What do you want to create? It's not keeping score. Your brain is keeping score, because your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your soul, your intuition, your human spirit is designed to make you soar.
A large part of that, I would say, is habit, the maintenance, the development, maintenance of good practices, habits. If you find yourself dissolute, if your thought tends in the nihilistic direction and you tend to fall apart, organizing your life across multiple dimensions is a good antidote. It's not exactly thinking. Do you have an intimate relationship? If not, well, probably you could use one. Do you have contact with close family members, siblings or children or parents? Or people who are even more distantly related? If not, you probably need that. Do you see your friends a couple of times a week and do something social with them? Do you have a way of productively using your time outside of employment?
Some of the most monumental and transformational portraits and pictures that we've ever seen were developed in the darkroom. We celebrate athletes and we celebrate critical thinkers and innovators and actors, and we praise them and coin them. Our heroes, and we follow them by the millions. We love what they do in public, but you don't know the story behind the glory.
When you get to the edge, your brain will always tell you to step back. It's always going to tell you to step back, because you can fall. Always. It's going to tell you to step back, because before you fell, the last time you did this, you saw someone else fail. You could hurt. You could be off work. It's going to tell you. It's designed to keep you safe. So you have to be willing to play between your brain and your soul. And on some days, you got to just listen to your soul. And you got to say, I'm going to leap. I'm going to get to the edge. Most people are at the edge, and you're standing at the edge, and you're watching everyone else fly. That's Pimp My Ride, Watch My Crib, all this stuff. You know, watching people's lives on Facebook. You're at the edge, watching someone else live, wondering what it's going to be like when you jump without ever jumping. And I'm just here to tell you, jump. Because only three things can happen. You're either going to jump and fly.
Are you employed? Do you have a good job, or at least a job that is practically sufficient and that enables you to work with people who you like working with? Even if the job itself is mundane or repetitive or difficult, sometimes the relationships that you establish in an employment situation like that can make the job worthwhile. Have you regulated your response to temptations, pornography, alcohol abuse, drug abuse? Is that under control? I would say differentiate the problem. There's multiple dimensions of attainment, ambition, pleasure, responsibility, all of that make up a life. And to the degree that it's possible, you want to optimize your functioning on as many of those dimensions as possible.